those over hurdles. Now those flights have been removed, and we're into the men's 60 metres final. All eyes already for Europeans, turning towards those European Indoor Championships in Turin, which get underway in less than 3 weeks' time. Tobias Unger is in lane 1, the German, perhaps a rather better 200-metre runner, but getting a bit of real speed work here. That's Kendall Stevens. There are 3 Americans in this field. Stevens, 6.57, his lifetime best set this season. There's the Italian, 2 Italians in the field. Fabio Cerutti, look out for him, a season's best of 6.64. And they're wearing 19. Peter Emelise, the Nigerian. Nigeria produced some decent sprinters over the years. Emelise, perhaps another one from that production line. That's Roberto Donati. 3 Italians in this lineup. There is Mark Jelks. We saw him run in Dusseldorf on Friday night. Perhaps not quite as sharp as he'd like to be, but he's somebody who's been to global championships before. Jelks here in lane 5. Emmanuel Di Gregorio, a season's best of 6.63 for the Italian. Marcus Brunson hiding behind the shades. 6.71, his season's best performance. So the athletes on the track for this men's 60-metre final. Dwayne Chambers, 6.51, twice yesterday in Sheffield, on his way to winning the UK title. Second-ranked European, by the way, Christian Blum, 6.56, winning a race in Stuttgart 8 days ago. And Craig Pickering, ranked 3, 6.57, but eliminated in the semi-finals at the UK Championships, disqualified for causing a second false start. So 1 or 2 concerns about being picked for Craig Pickering for the European Championships, although those ranking lists do look rather favourable as far as he's concerned. Well, another false start. I don't know, Tim, could you pick out who was responsible for that?
Well, what's Donati in the yellow to right a picture? Yeah, I think the Italian twitches in the blocks and then heads off, and the others are still sitting there. Director thinks the same thing. Is it Cerutti? Yeah, Cerutti, in fact, over in lane 3, excuse me. I'm getting my Italians confused.
Well, there are 3 in the field, so I think you may excuse that on this occasion, because Italian sprinting historically has been very strong, a little bit in the doldrums in recent times. But Fabio Cerutti responsible for the first false start, but as we say, almost ad nauseum, it doesn't really matter if you commit the first one, because it is essentially a penalty against the entire field. Whoever commits the second one, regardless of who was responsible for the first, would be disqualified. So let's go through the lineup again from the far side. Unger, Stevens, Cerutti, Emelise, Jelks, Di Gregorio, Brunson. Well, Cerutti, the last one to rise, he's got away pretty well there in the yellow. Alongside him is Kendall Stevens, but Cerutti's coming through. Oh, it's a blanket finish. Also coming through fast there was Mark Jelks, and also Emmanuel Di Gregorio. The Italians featuring very prominently, but it's Fabio Cerutti who's claiming it. And the time, well, the clock stopping inside 6.60. So to the likes of Dwayne Chambers, that will be of no grave concern. He's seen somebody run quite a bit slower than him. But the Italians maybe have got 1 and 2 here. They've certainly beaten, or at least one of them has beaten, a handful of very good Americans.
Well, I suppose you could argue that without the French, without the British, this race a little bit denuded of the top European talent, but nonetheless, Congratulations to Cerutti for taking his opportunity and beating the Americans. I mean, that is significant. Nigerians as well in that one. And the time is not to be sniffed at. 6:58, a new personal best. Fabulous stuff from Fabio Cerutti. You're looking at 65 there. That's Mark Jelks. Ended up in 3rd place, Jelks. But goodness me, you talked about the Italians having some sort of heritage in sprinting, and at the moment not having a great deal to fall back on, but perhaps Cerutti is the new generation. He is just 24 years old. A name to watch, perhaps, an outsider for the European, a medal at the Europeans.
Well, he is something of an indoor specialist, a finalist in the European indoors in Birmingham 2 years ago, but I think he would perhaps expect to do rather better this time. He finished well down the field that time, but here he is, the winner in Karlsruhe. And over the years, we've seen some very good sprinters win here. The meeting record, Ronald Pognon,